Hey, welcome. So today we're going to talk about something that affects literally every single one of us, our brain health. We're going to pull back the curtain on some simple, everyday habits that might be quietly messing with our most powerful organ. And more importantly, we'll get into the super straightforward ways to fix them.
So let's just start with the big picture here. Think about it. Your brain is the command center for, well, everything. It's running the show for how you think, how you feel, what you remember, and where you put your focus. It is, pretty much, the absolute core of who you are.
And that brings us to the big question, the one we really need to ask ourselves. We've all got these routines, right? Habits that feel totally normal. But what if some of them are slowly chipping away at our brain's ability to function at its best? For a lot of us, the answer is probably, yeah.
To really get a handle on this, we're going to break it all down. We'll look at three main areas. First, the toll our digital lives take on us. Then, how our physical health fuels our mind. And finally, the huge role our social and mental environment plays. And then we'll wrap it all up with a simple plan to get you started. All right, let's jump right into our first section, the digital drain. This is all about the hidden cost of living in a world that is just flooded with screens, pings, and this constant pressure to do a million things at once.
Okay, first up is a big one we're all guilty of: way too much screen time. When you spend hours just staring at screens, you're basically bombarding your brain with nonstop information. That can lead to serious mental fatigue and, you guessed it, a shorter attention span. But the fix? It's surprisingly simple. It's called the 30-60 rule. Just take a short break every 30 to 60 minutes. Look away from the screen. It's like a mini reboot for your brain, and it makes a huge difference.
And that leads right into our next habit, multitasking. We all tell ourselves it makes us more productive, but, the science just doesn't back that up. Every single time you switch tasks, your brain has to stop, reset, and reorient itself. That costs you time and precious mental energy. The solution is what you might call single tasking. Just pick one thing, give it all your attention, and you'll be amazed at how much better your focus and performance get. Now let's switch gears and talk about how we're fueling this amazing machine. It's so easy to forget this, but our brain is a physical organ, and how well it works is directly connected to how we treat our bodies.
So here are four major culprits that really mess with our brain's fuel supply: a lack of good sleep, too much sugar, not moving our bodies enough, and even just being a little bit dehydrated. They all lead to that feeling of brain fog and an inability to concentrate. They might seem like small things on their own, but when they team up, they can leave your brain's fuel tank running on empty.
But the good news is, the fixes are just as simple and connected. You really don't have to completely overhaul your life here. Just aiming for better sleep, consciously swapping a sugary snack for something healthier, getting out for a quick 10-minute walk, and keeping a water bottle nearby. These little tweaks work together to refuel your brain, and it's incredibly effective. I want to pause on this number for a second. 7 to 9 hours of sleep. This isn't just about not feeling tired. While you're sleeping, your brain is working hard. It's literally cleaning out toxins, filing away memories, and regulating your mood. Consistently getting this amount of quality sleep is probably one of the most powerful things you can possibly do for your brain.
All right, on to our final category of habits, the connection factor. This is all about recognizing that our brains don't operate in a vacuum. Nope, they are deeply, deeply influenced by the people we interact with and, just as importantly, by our own inner voice.
We are social animals, plain and simple. Our brains are actually wired for connection. So when we become isolated, it can genuinely hurt our mental health and even our cognitive sharpness. The key here is to be intentional about it. Go ahead, make that phone call, send that text, schedule that coffee. Every one of those little moments of connection is like a workout for the social parts of your brain.
And finally, let's talk about that voice inside our own heads. A constant stream of negative thoughts isn't just a bad mood. It can actually carve out and strengthen negative pathways in your brain. But you have the power to counteract this. By consciously practicing something like gratitude or even just a few minutes of mindfulness, you start building new, more positive pathways. It's like you're choosing which mental muscles you want to make stronger.
So, we've gone through 8 different habits and their fixes. Now we get to the most important part: turning all this knowledge into actual action. It really is all about just taking that first, simple step forward. Look, the secret to making real, lasting change isn't to try and fix everything all at once. That's just a recipe for burnout. Instead, I want you to just look at the list we've talked about and pick one. Just one. Maybe it's drinking one more glass of water today, or taking one screen break this afternoon. Commit to that one tiny fix.
Once that starts to feel easy and natural, you can build on it and tackle the next one. That's how small steps create unstoppable momentum.
So I'll leave you with this question to think about. Your brain is your greatest asset. It's your most powerful tool. After everything we've covered, what is the one small, totally manageable change you're going to make starting today to take better care of it?